This is Ed in San Diego. As you can see, it's a nice night out there. This picture was taken from San Diego Airport, Sheridan, a few years ago. Still valid. Welcome today to Global TV Talk Show. The theme of today's special broadcast, Breaking the Science, Women and Work Realities. And our leader today is Adriana Fuentes Diaz in Mexico City and Carolina Gomez in Brazil. Welcome.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you very much for the opportunity. This is our third show talking about women in the workplace challenges. So very happy to have Carolina now with us. So welcome, Carolina.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm very happy to play the intermediary role here. Going back a few months, Carolina has disappeared off the screen here. Hopefully you're okay, Carolina. Come on back in. There you are.
Oh, sorry. Internet issues.
Yeah, right. Well, I saw it flickering and then all of a sudden, poof, gone. So workplace realities. Work realities. Which is better, work realities or workplace realities? Probably both, huh?
Exactly. Definitely both.
Right, right. So Adriana, why don't you do the honors of your beautiful style of introduction?
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, for sure. So let me introduce to our audience to Carolina. Carolina Gomez is an executive English mentor who helps leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals communicate effectively in global settings. With over a decade of corporate experience, including senior training roles at an American multinational, she merged cultural intelligence with English fluency. Original from Uruguay, she began her journey with limited English during a volunteer mission in the US. Her early challenges inspired her to help others overcome languages and cultural barriers. Professionally, she advanced from a help desk to senior trainer, leading international projects across Europe and beyond. She trained over 25,000 professionals globally, including Sabre and Fly Center teams, and now based in Brazil. She also speaks Portuguese and mentor clients in more than 7 countries. Carolina's approach emphasizes communication with clarity and cultural agility, and her mission is to empower professionals to thrive and connect confidently across cultures. So very interesting bio, Carolina, and more than happy to have you this morning with Ed and myself here in the show.
Yes, welcome, Carolina. Carolina has been on this program several times already, and really glad that you two connected well. Carolina, 25,000 people. That's a lot of people. But is that internet-wise?
That was internet, yes, internet-wise. And also with my colleagues in the company, we traveled to many places, training agents, professionals globally. So that was half and half.
Yeah. So when you're training that many people, did you use um, um, game playing to get people to voice so you could tell them what to do?
We use a lot of strategies, actually games and neuroscience techniques, also to get people feeling more comfortable about speaking a second language, speaking in front of other people. So yes, we use a lot of techniques for that purpose.
Well, let's zero in here. From your experience, what factors continue to prevent women from having the same job opportunities as men? Is this the case from your view, in Brazil?
Well, I'm so glad you guys are talking about these topics. I think that brings awareness, and that is what we need every day more and more. Just for everyone to have a little context on me, I come from a big family, okay, and a very extreme religious family too. So from early ages, I experienced was what it was not only societal norms that we all experience in Latin America as women, but also some religious layers that dictated not only the way that I dress, but the way I spoke, what I should say or not, and also who I should marry to, things like that. So when I finally broke free from these boundaries, that really helped me to see from other perspective and also to understand these issues and shape me the way I think nowadays. I believe that job opportunities are not the same, unfortunately, and this, yes, is a reality in Brazil as in many other countries, because we have deeply rooted these traditional gender roles. It's expected for women to be homemakers, to take care, caregivers, and we encourage men, or men are encouraged to pursue professional goals, to become leaders. So even though things are changing, I think it's deeply ingrained in our cultures.
So did you, being from a large family, and obviously intuitively obvious to me that you came from a structured environment, very tradition oriented, things you do, things you don't do, that you grew up with. And then you broke free and went to the US, which was probably, what, the first in your family to do that?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I would guess. And so what mental prep did you have for this? Was it just your drive, your can-do attitude, your belief in not being afraid or not having any restrictions, mental restrictions of the imposter syndrome? All right, that voices you hear in the night say, no, don't do this, don't do that. And you say, oh, I'm going to do it.
Interesting question, Ed. By the way, going to the United States was the moment that really helped me to see my little world where I, grew up and I was raised, and that was all I knew, to start seeing the world from a different perspective, right? I still was within my family in this religious, practice. At the time, I moved to the U.S., but for me, that experience of seeing the world from outside was the really game changer, or the very important moment for me, because after that, I really could see that I had to change things in my life. So I can say that after coming to the US, things change a lot for me.
I think that, yeah, the same for me. I mean, when I have the opportunity to live in US for 1 year and then in Canada for 3 years, that was like, a big difference for me to have the opportunity not just to learn the language, but also the culture, different cultures, because of course, Latin America, it's pretty different than at least in the US and Canada. But that helps me to have like a open, a mindset to really understand many more things. That was like maybe 20 years ago or more. But yeah, interesting that some people and maybe students or young people have that opportunity. That will be totally different, if they have that opportunity, than instead of staying in their countries, just learning the language is not the same. It's like the whole context.
So, Carolina, did you have a pushback from guys saying, oh, you're so nice, but why are you pushing? Something like that.
Absolutely, Ed. And I think we, as women, anywhere in the world, we can relate to this because it's an unconscious bias that we have as society, right? As we talked before, stereotypes are so ingrained, and we expect women to be taking care of families and maybe getting pregnant and things like that. that when we as women in the professional environment, in a corporate, in a company, we aim to higher positions or higher opportunities, it's like we need to work double. We need to really prove ourselves. And even though I've seen how many opportunities were given to men because maybe, oh, she may get pregnant. So we cannot afford to lose the time on her, in this maternity leave and so on. So yes, I've seen during my career, I've heard also comments that it's something very important that we need to address this bias also on how we talk to women at work, but absolutely something that we need to work structural. It's a structural change that needs to go on for sure.
And Carolina, one question. Bueno, right now I'm writing an article for some Mexican magazine about burnout, and my next question for you is, talking about burnout, why do you think it affects women so strongly, and what could we do to change it? I mean, why we feel like we have more burnout than guys? I mean, this is my opinion on Latin America. This is why I'm writing this article now in Mexico. But do you think the same way, or maybe in Brazil is different?
Okay, so I think that the workload that as women we are assigned, or we suppose we have to do is the double or the triple in Brazil and in many countries. Again, you are expected to be the mother, the daughter, the connector in the home, to keep harmony in home. So there's so much that is expected from us to take care of kids. So it's hard sometimes to put limits to protect ourselves because of all this expectation that is, that comes from society, from family. And this results in a physically drained of our energies. We are physically, and because we cannot be weak, because in our cultures also it's very important that women, they are strong, and it's not common like that we can express for example, in a corporate environment, that okay, I'm on my limit. This is my limit. I cannot do more than this. You're going to be labeled as weak. So I think because of these, again, expectations that society has on us, and we also go along with this, we get burnout in Brazil, a lot of women, and I believe in many other countries too.
Carolina, the story, yes, you're telling, is very similar to the old way in the US within families, tradition. Remember that song, Tradition? And so with that comes a pile of guilt. The old tradition ways, from Fiddler on the Roof is what I'm hearing in my head, is that the family structure, family communications, role playing. On the one hand, that could be inspirational to break out and do something and add meaning. On the other hand, it's a beautiful thing to keep the traditions going. And the other thing that you said that ties right into this in my head is that guys who are in positions of power within organizations, companies, saying, we can't invest in you. You're likely to get pregnant and be in the home. You're not going to have energy or time to devote to work. So we don't want to invest in you. That is hardcore, isn't it? That's That's what it is. And now the opposite is the energy and the drive and the laser mental focus that you obviously have displayed, coupled with your physical energy to get out and move. Super powerful, in my view. And you got the guts to do it. Are you now happy that you've done that?
And if I had to go back, I'll do it all over again, because this, and Adriana inspires me so much on this, because Adriana, you and Ed have this program about strong women and the satisfaction, the freedom, the empowerment, and that we can transport to the world, right? We can be ourselves, we can feel well, and we can actually help our communities with our best selves. What I really like about Adriana's work and all these that you are doing here with the podcast is that we can show also that strong women is not that stereotype, right? Of I cannot talk about my the insecurities or the things I go through life. No, this is something that we need, and this is something that we need in the companies too, like to create safety spaces where we.
Well, we've had an interruption. Hopefully we can correct it. And she'll be back on as soon as possible. Hi, welcome back.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Internet is not.
Yeah. So anyway, your messaging is great and very, very clear, despite this technical interruption. And, perhaps the editing will take care of that later. So we have 8 minutes remaining or so. So let's focus in on the role playing. In your opinion, how do gender bias, this is kind of technical, having already discussed the stuff we have. In your opinion, how do gender biases manifest themselves in promotion or recognition within companies? You've already touched on that. Do you want to go a little deeper and sum up?
I really think it's an unconscious bias most of the time. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time, because of these stereotypes that as cultures we have learned how we should be, how we should act, right? So to motivate, to give voice to these kind of issues, to these kind of inequalities that still exist is so important. So we can have in companies really transparent promotion processes for women, opportunities of mentorships, sponsorships, spaces where women can express when they are under the limit, programs created by women. I think this is so important because we need diversity in the workplace, everywhere. It's like making a cake. You cannot make a cake just with chocolate. Even though you love chocolate, you cannot just do chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. It's much better if we have diversity everywhere. So this is what I think about we need to do. We really need changes, structural changes.
And Carolina, thank you very much. What you were saying a few minutes before about my job, and for me, this podcast is like an open window. This is the idea, to have women like you to talk, just be very, very confident and talk about whatever you want to talk. I mean, at least we have the opportunity to interview Ed and I, 3 women in Latin America, but I will be so happy to interview maybe some women in Asia, in Europe, in different countries, because definitely for me, to raise our hand or say, I mean, exactly, I need to put some limits at work or with family or with whoever, it's no weakness is a strong woman. Definitely this is why I consider that all women, we are strong. So thank you for your comments, and definitely I hope that we can have the opportunity to talk more about many more things, and doing something together in the future. So from my side, thank you very much for your comments and for participating in this podcast today.
Thank you very much. We have a few minutes remaining. Why don't you slide aside and show your beautiful logo so that everybody in the world can see that logo. It's really terrific. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so I just want to say that my mother, she passed when she was 93. And a week before she passed, she was playing the New York Times crossword puzzle with her doctor. Her body had given up, but her mind was there. So I grew up in that environment. When she was a young woman, this is a long time ago, she was a model. She was a beautiful woman, and she was on magazine covers when she was a young one. Late in life, she worked for an international charity, investment company charity, and she brought me into that world. And it was mostly women. So this is where I'm coming from. I'm not afraid of strong women. Allies, not the enemy. Nothing to fear. So I want you to sum up now. What specific actions, Carolina, do you consider necessary to achieve true equality? Specific actions, and therefore enable a greater female presence in leadership positions. We've already seen that. The new leader of Japan, the new president of Mexico.
Yes. So as I said, to have processes that are more transparent within companies, so women that aim higher or aim to go places, they can see that it's possible and they will feel empowered in this way. To have boards that hold leaders accountable for diversity, right? Mentorships, sponsorships, we need to take action and have more programs where women can feel safe and look forward to growing in a space that will be psychologically safe.
Adriana, thanks so much for allowing me to participate with you. And I'm learning
Thank you for your
a
lovely
lot.
story. Lovely story. Thank you to share with us.
This is great.
That was lovely.
Kumbaya.
Thank you so much.
That's great.
Definitely, when I pass away, I want my son remember me and my grandkids remember me as a strong woman. So this is, why I'm doing this. And
this is proof.
Exactly. Well, thank you.
This will last forever, not just on Global Business News TV, but in the annals of Stephen Howard as well. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you to Stephen too, definitely. So thank you, Carolina, for to join the show today. Thank you, Ed, for the support all the time with this, and to both of you, have a great day.
Yeah, thanks. Please come back, Carolina.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Amen. This is Ed in San Diego. Sayonara.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.